so this next thing came to a little, I'll give the full credit that I found mainly was in the Melee Games Discord, thanks to the user Uncle, who posted the Kickstarter project for this. The game is called Darkhaven, an action RPG with dynamic worlds. He posted the Kickstarter project, and I believe there was some discussion back and forth on it. You get into some iffy territory with video games and Kickstarter projects. I certainly feel that way because of my experience with Night Dive and their System Shock remake project. So even on here on the Discord, I guess I could, Uncle here had said a little bit more context, because this is in their general chat anyways, context on the Darkhaven Kickstarter in their own words. While it doesn't directly address the amount, they do basically say, allow us to build the world to its full potential without compromise. That, to me, raises some alert bells when he talks about it like that. He says, with that in mind, I think it's realistic number for a proper game with ambitious features like destructible environment. So let me bring up the website, because that was the main thing that kind of like that kind of a description made me, because even though Night Dive didn't start out kind of talking like that themselves, it got me once they got funded and everything, and everything started moving along, they quickly started getting a big head in what they wanted to do with the System Shock remake. And man, things spiraled really quick. And when they're trying to go without compromise, that can mean a lot of different things in my book. And creatives, they need kind of, yeah, it's great to have creative freedom and stuff like that, but they kind of need the wrangler to kind of keep them on track, because otherwise they get way too ambitious and go maybe a little too far in what their perceived vision is. And I looked at this page really quick, and I thought it was kind of interesting to see who's on this project. But before that, let's pop on over. We'll take a look at this. So yeah, we got Darkhaven here over on Kickstarter. And if you want, I'll grab the link for anybody else that also wants to take a look at it. So far, so they got 9 days to go. They're a little short of their goal of 500,000, but they've certainly gotten quite a bit of backers so far. But like it is, things get crazy with these Kickstarter. Let's see. Every creative needs a good Tard Wrangler. Yes, they do. Because then they will spiral and go completely off the track. Look at Peter Molyneux. Look at Hideo Kojima. I mean, Tim Schafer, all those sorts. They've gone off the rails, and their games have either spiraled, not been made, partially been made. Kojima's case nearly takes down all of Konami, whatever. So it's always something. But we can take a look at this really quick here. I'm kind of curious, because I did see it's a Darkhaven, an action RPG with dynamic worlds, a new action RPG featuring dynamic, destructible, buildable worlds. That's interesting. Made by many of the original creators of Diablo and Diablo 2. Static says, after Ashes of Creation, this might not happen. Ashes of Creation? Huh. Well, let's see if it was being caught. Okay. Moon Beast Productions. Yeah, I can see the Diablo. I mean, that's all action RPGs. You can see Diablo's footprint. And I thought of Grim Dawn, but this looks like, yeah, you got more freedom. Huh. Procedurally generated worlds. Interesting. Oh, Fortnite Diablo. Huh. Destruction and mayhem. That was kind of cool. it? The runes. Okay. Online multiplayer co-op and PvP. Powerful in-game modding tools. Oh, well, that'd be good. It's always good that they when a project that will be releasing with modding tools. World-threatening events. Ooh. Yeah, it can, Timon. Timon saying procedurally generated usually means boring and empty. It can. Definitely some interesting design ideas and stuff like that. You can wishlist now on Steam. Demo coming soon. Now, see, that's what got me with the System Shock remake was they already had the demo available for the Kickstarter, and that was like what kind of sold me on the project, was being able to like go in, check it out, and be like, oh my god, this looks like they're on the right path. Lo and behold, they did what they did. So let's see if we can even bring it up here on Steam really quick. So the demo as of now is available. You can check it out. Maybe I can check that out a little bit later. Let me go back to so welcome to Darkhaven. Is a new isometric fantasy action RPG brought to you by many of the visionary creators of Diablo 2, and other classic action RPGs. We are taking all we learned from years working on ARPGs and putting it into a new take on the genre we helped create over 20 years ago. Darkhaven is the game we've been dreaming about and planning for decades. It has Diablo-style progression skills and itemization, matched with open-ended, procedurally generated, dynamically responsive sandbox worlds. Now, with the destructibility and stuff like that, that's definitely where I see, to Timon's point, where things could probably get a little boring and empty, because things being so destructible, it could cause a lot of problems with machines and with your machine and everything. So it's a little dodgy there. More of the shots there. Procedurally generated, living dynamic world. This is the first sign that this is a completely different breed of ARPG. Unlike the static set pieces popular in the genre today, World of Darkhaven is fully procedurally generated, growing from bedrock to mountaintop on a fine grid of 0.5 m by 0.5 m by 0.25 tiles. No two worlds are alike, giving the game infinite replayability and discovery. And as we saw in the trailer, you can jump, swim, climb, and even glide. So ever wonder why in most ARPGs a few pebbles will stop you in your tracks? In Darkhaven, you will freely explore an open world without guardrails and preset paths. The dynamic combat, free-flowing dynamic combat, where strategic positioning and your skill amplify your stats and build choices. Jump over enemy swings, dodge missiles, and attack from the air. Combat in Darkhaven is smooth, impactful, and never boring. Total mayhem. Destroy everything. No more following a looping passage only to be blocked by an inconveniently placed wall. Blast your way through like the hero you're meant to be. So that could be lending to a bit of that power fantasy for some games are just kind of missing that feel nowadays, which, you know, not bad. Epic world altering events. The entire face of the world can be transformed by an out of control necropolis or the march of an unrelenting cursed winter. It's your choice. Stop it or join it. What side will you take? That would be something you definitely have to see to probably believe, if it actually adheres to anything like that. Mining and digging. Delve for treasure and uncover long-lost treasure rooms and ancient ruins. Transform mountains into valleys and valleys into lakes. Divert rivers to drain lakes and harden lava. Construct and build. So we saw the build walls and cities, work with allies and erect giant wall to stop shadows, advance, conquer the world, and rule a kingdom of your own. Progress from a lone adventurer to the architect of a new age. Physical simulation, water flows and grass grows. Lava spills forth from fissures. The entire world is physically simulated and ever changing. The incredible itemization created by the principal designers of Diablo 1 and 2. Simple fixes that combine meaningfully presenting players with real choices, no level scaling, and items that aren't just stacked sticks. And every item tier has a purpose. Darkhaven is one of the few ARPGs where even common white items can be the basis for your build. Interesting. They, I guess, have day and night cycles or just day and night maps. Beware, dangerous monsters lurk in the darkness. They don't elaborate on that. I can only guess that they mean day and night cycles. Runes and hearts. Runes can be used to modify your skills or socketed into items to create rune words. The witch class can even slot them on her body to create tattoos that modify her build. Socketable hearts drop from specific monsters, granting unique ability. And then crafting. Gems, runes, and hearts are all key ingredients of an extensive crafting ecosystem. Multi-classing. Combine up to 3 skill trees to create your own unique class. With thousands of possible combinations, there's always something new to try. Now, I feel like that was definitely seen in Grim Dawn, but it's been a hot minute since I've played that game. But I wanted to say you can kind of combine the 3 trees that you got for the class that you picked. Secure multiplayer. Share your world with friends or play in a massively multiplayer public worlds with anyone in the world. Define the rules of your persistent world, co-op or PvP. Set the difficulty level, private or open, and much more. Infinite modding. Create online persistent mods, extend the genre, or create entirely new games. Make your own areas, quests, monsters, items, classes, and skills. Define game rules. The possibilities are endless. So this is the part that I thought was rather interesting. The Moonbeast team. Moonbeast Productions is an independent game development studio founded and staffed by veteran action ARPG developers. The question becomes, but I mean, I guess they are doing Kickstarter here. Who is the? Are there people funding you in the background? Is there anybody behind you? Is it true that you are independent? Because nowadays that just feels like it's become a buzzword, a marketing term, or anything of the sort. So, and hey there, Sergey, how's it going, dude? Hope you're doing well today. Static had said, Ashes of Creation was a massive ARPG crowdfunded that was super successful, but recently just went completely broke and shut everything down in 24 hours. Holy shit, that's rough. Damn, man. Yeah, fickle. That's why I say that the gaming industry really needs to crumble and redo itself, because it's too bloated, it's too overdone right now. It needs like a reset, a hard reset. Anyway, this is some of the interesting stuff that I saw. So Eric Schaefer, Chief Creative Officer. Eric was a co-founder of Blizzard North, where he led the design of Diablo and Diablo 2. After Blizzard, he led design for the ARPGs Hellgate London, Torchlight, and Torchlight 2. Philip Schenk, CEO. Philip was lead character artist on Diablo 2 and Lords of Destruction. He later served as the art director on Hellgate London. He has started and led several gaming startups. Peter Hugh. Peter was a programmer on Diablo 2, Lords of Destruction, lead engineer on Hellgate London, Torchlight and Torchlight 2. And principal engineer / creative lead of Marvel Heroes Online. I remember playing that one for a short time. We are a tight, focused team who have been building games for a long time. We do this for the love of games and for the sheer joy of bringing our unique, special style of ARPGs to players around the world. The reason why I kind of laughed and was like, definitely, I was like, okay, I feel like talking about this one, is just the fact that these are some people that made Hellgate London, and Hellgate London is a game where I had the opportunity to get to work in the gaming industry as a quality assurance tester for a short period of time, like 6 months. I want to say it was about 6 months or so. So I got that experience to actually do something like that. And yeah, my name is in the game. But Hellgate London was funny because a lot of us, when we were testing it and going through it and everything, we saw all the hallmarks of Diablo and Diablo 2, from like some of the missions and story, some of the quest lines. But the difference was Hellgate London, instead of being the whole like isometric top-down action RPG, it was a third-person action RPG. I'm trying, like, probably more in like the vein of like something like a Fable, or Fable's what comes to mind mostly at the moment. I'm sure there'd be like some other ones, but that's like the one game that really comes to mind. But yeah, Hellgate London was an interesting one, and I do remember going through the QA logs and seeing some of the older content that was sadly cut, because some of it was kind of cool. There was some cool things in there, and I think they even had a class that was very similar to the druid, like from Diablo 2, and I think even kind of a necromancer sort of class, if I remember right. I wish I could have saved a lot of that information. God, that would have been great, but no, couldn't do that. But yeah, that I just thought was interesting, that has some of the people that were part of Hellgate London at the time. Now, like it was, I never interacted with any of these guys. We all just, you know, we were hired through EA, and basically, you know, we were like basically contractors, and we just submitted our bugs and sent it off to them, and then they did their thing, and whether or not they confirmed or denied anything like that. So, but I thought that was just kind of interesting there. So the rewards, all pledge tiers include a game key for early access and commercial launch. All proceeds go directly and 100% towards building Darkhaven. Thank you for your support. They have the digital add-on rewards. You get at $25 a limit 1 of an extra key. $150 Shank's Dreaming Veil, personalized shrine for the one who marched through shadows. $1,500 design a legendary. Vanguard, so that was digital add-on. So Vanguard 2 at $30 is the game key on Steam, hero Discord role, and a 4K wallpapers. $40 Settler, all previous rewards, and then a Dark Flame Aura coming soon. Physical add-on rewards. So these physical add-on rewards can only be added to the tiers below. 125, 30, 55, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. So they have the collector's edition box, premium mouse pad, premium gaming mat. I've been seeing this as a thing more now, these gaming mats, because I even saw like there's a Godzilla one that I have up on their store now. Like, I guess it just fits your desk. I'm like, okay, it looks kind of cool. They got a hat, Moonbeast shirt, Lich Runes shirt, and a Darkhaven shirt. $80 is Hero. All previous rewards, Hero game credits, priority playtest access, exclusive PVC patch designed to be determined. $150, you're a champion. All previous rewards, additional game key, Darkhaven OST, original soundtrack, a digital art book, custom dash VFX, custom portal VFX, custom death VFX, glide wings VFX, and a bucket of dies. Oh boy. Excuse me. I'm sorry. At $300, you got the Herald of Darkhaven. All previous rewards, premium gaming map, design a mini boss, backer vote event. Ooh. Shadow Leech pet, exclusive Herald banner. And you see the banners right there. Pathfinder at $500. Collaboration tier 1. Ooh. Elemental Owl pet camp props, exclusive emote. Name a world location. Pathfinder credit. Custom display plaque. and collector's edition box. And then 1,500 Mercenary of Darkhaven. Of course, like it is all previous rewards. 2 times the total additional game keys. Name and lore for a mercenary / NPC. Upgrade to mercenary credits. Upgraded display plaque. $5,000. Oh boy. Oh boy. You get 3 extra game keys. Name a theme, a champion monster, upgrade to denizen credits, and upgraded premium plaque. $10,000. Legend of Darkhaven, 5 extra game keys. Name a theme and a legendary item, upgrade to legendary hero credits, ultimate display plaque, and no charge shipping. And so they have their Darkhaven timeline here. We have been working on Darkhaven for just over 4 years. From early concepts and prototypes to a fully playable ARPG with nearly everything needed to launch in early access. We know how to make ARPGs, and we have a plan to bring this game to early access. And so they kind of talk about their timeline here. With their Moonbeast was founded in 2021 of September. They have their first concepts, early prototype. 2023 they have the pitch demo and GFX upgrade. 2024, 2025 streamer event, and now 2026 they have the demo and Kickstarter, and they're wanting to go to Q4 of 2026 for early access, question mark, Steam, to 2027. Saying we've been working on Darkhaven for just over 4 years. I mean, that's kind of roughly in that time frame of a lot of games nowadays, about 4 to 5 years. But the problem I have with early access though is that then you're just, so not only are you paying for the Kickstarter, but I'm sure they're gonna, if you get to the if you do the Kickstarter, you get in, because I think that was one of the tiers, saying you maybe get, I think, get out in early access. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe that's what the game keys you get. Yeah, okay, yeah, game key on Steam for early access and beyond. So you are getting that early access. So nowadays this means you pay to be a beta tester, or in this case maybe even an alpha tester. Who knows how along the game is. Sorry, it's just adjusting the music. Let's see, the first 2 years were mostly R&D and core technology. Since 2024 we've been building out content and gameplay to get the game to a playable state where it's clear that we are trying to accomplish. There is a lot to do before we consider the game to be fully ready for commercial release. We have high standards and we know what it takes to make an ARPG stand the test of time. But we also know the game is already fun, and we believe we're close to the point where we can launch it into early access, which will fully fund our development through commercial release. This Kickstarter campaign will fully fund the game into early access. And I mean, like it is here, it does say Vanguard add-ons at the $30 gets you that game key on Steam for early access. I mean, even in that regards, that's not bad for any new release of a game, basically. But I mean, again, you're basically kind of paying to be an early tester. Let's see, where did I this Kickstarter campaign will fully fund the game into early access. With your help, we can bring Darkhaven to market and grow it into the next great generational ARPG where the funding goes. Your support will allow us to remain independent and bring Darkhaven to early access on Steam. Do you have, I mean, do we have 100% guarantee, considering the way things tend to go within businesses where suddenly which class? More mobs, basically, yeah. So we want to expand our roster of monsters with a particular focus on unique and boss encounters, NPCs, and quests. We want to expand the world and the story, turning Darkhaven into a place that feels real and alive. At least 3 or 4 new NPCs that appear in town and possibly out in the wilds that serve as a dynamic quest givers for things to do out in the wilds. More biomes and environmental events. The dynamic procedural biomes are one thing that sets us apart, far apart from other ARPGs. We want to add more biomes, weather effects, and some more types of events, like the Necropolis event that totally changed up the world. Specifically, when we want to build a quote, winter is coming event that causes freezing and snow to spread across the land. This will also open up a frozen tundra biome, as well as an accompanying monsters, champions, and boss that goes with it. We also want to add a volcanic biome to build on top of current lava set. These events would be smaller, more localized eruptions with the potential to escalate into full pyroclastic cataclysm if not dealt with. Hey, that's the Stormblind. How's it going, buddy? We're just checking out this Darkhaven Kickstarter. Our promise to you. We love this genre, we love this community. We promise transparency, regular development updates, and a commitment to make Darkhaven the deep, rewarding, and totally different ARPG we all deserve. Let's build the future together. So they do have risks and challenges. We have been building and shipping ARPGs for a long time. As founders, we've started and led studios and brought many of your favorite games to market, including Diablo, Diablo 2, Torchlight 1 and 2, and Hellgate London. I don't remember the exact commercial release of Hellgate London, but I know those other previous games have their popularity and have their fan bases. I still play Diablo 2, for God's sakes. We know what it takes to build amazingly fun, stable, and unforgettable ARPGs. We also know that they are amongst the hardest games to make, both from a technical and design perspective. We are a small team, and we are leaning heavily on our experience building these games. We have a playable demo, and we encourage you to check it out for yourselves to see if this is the kind of project you want to help bring to life. There are always risks when making games of this level of complexity, and it's impossible to plan for every unforeseen outcome. But this isn't our first rodeo, and we are confident in our path forward and in our capabilities. So they even have a use of AI. We use some AI tools for things like checking grammar and punctuation in copy and design documents. A third-party tool called Grammarly, I use Grammarly, and Google G Suite built into Google Docs and Gmail. We also use AI note takers for our remote meetings for translating influencer content about our game from other languages. We do not use AI to generate art content for the game or for marketing materials. We also do not use AI for audio effects or I'm guessing voiceover in the game. At some point, we may use AI to streamline processes like UV mapping or retopology if and when it becomes available. Our underlying stance is that all creative content should be generated by the human authors, the game developers who are building the game. We will carefully examine AI tools that may help us avoid mistakes, e.g. grammar checkers, but we draw a hard line against using AI to create original content of any kind. Well, good for you guys on that. Environmental commitments, whatever. Long-lasting design, we make video games, so there's no physical waste. Additionally, we may highly skilled. Okay. Like I said, I hope that this goes well for them. They have 9 days though, and they're 70% towards their goal. They still got a ways. 9 days, I don't know. But for me, I'm kind of burnt on the idea of a Kickstarter personally. So I don't know about that for myself personally, because yeah, after the whole and I'm still waiting to finish up things with Night Dive and everything, because yeah, I'm still waiting on that one, and that was a Kickstarter event, so I'm still iffy. Nightmare, how's it going, sir? Hope you're doing well today. Sergey says I should sue them for stealing my name. Jokes. I am hoping this is good and eventually comes to consoles too. We'll see. I mean, they need to make it through the Kickstarter campaign, and who knows what'll happen, because like it is, the demo's available on Steam, as you can see here. You can download the demo, check it out, see for yourself what you think of it. Sergey also uses Grammarly. I just use the free version because it works out pretty well for Otherwise, they do say Path of Exile is a similar game. Where's the Old Republic? What's to an action RPG? I don't. Why would you? What? I guess because I don't have Grim Dawn on Steam, I got that on GOG. So like I said, hoping for the best because it'll always be good to have more ARPGs out there. Otherwise, yeah, that's all. I can't say I necessarily am gonna jump on board for backing the project myself, just because again, Kickstarter. Ugh.
Thank you for watching this clip from Respawn Roast Cantina. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see and check out the full episode.